Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to MYC Uncensored. If you're new here, welcome. So this is Satini, and today I've got a brand new podcaster. Woo. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Jagriti and I'm in year 8 this year
Mm-hmm.
and I'm in high school.
Yeah. So, like I said, this is our first time recording. I met her, I think, last week or a couple weeks
Yes.
ago, and yeah, so we're really excited. Yeah, I think there's nothing much. I hope you guys are having a good New Year so far. Before we were recording, we were talking about how the month has gone by so fast.
Yes.
And it's crazy. Have you
Very
been doing
crazy.
anything interesting?
Honestly, these holidays I usually have like going to different countries and stuff,
Uh-huh.
but like now not really
Yeah.
anymore. Just at home,
Yeah.
going to the shops with my friends.
Yeah.
Not much.
No, but that's so good. So, as you guys can see by the title, we're going to be talking about her year in year 7 last year. So she's in year 8. And yeah. So I guess my first question is how was it going from year 6 to year 7? Like the expectation that you had? And yeah.
So it's like year 6 to year 7 is like a very big jump, as in it's like in primary school and high school. And I was expecting it to, be a little bit different, a little bit challenging, and it was definitely a lot more challenging than I thought.
Mhm.
Like just going in, there's a new environment, there's like different experiences. It's just like, instead in year 6, you're just like the oldest one in the year. But then
Yeah.
now in year 7, it feels like you're in kindergarten again, as
Mhm.
like there's like year 12s that are like older than you, and everyone's a lot more mature. Like there's like people that are in like 17, 18 who are
Mhm.
in like year 12, and then there's you who's like 12. Some people are like 11, 13. It's all like that. And in high school, obviously, like the work is increased. Homework
Mhm.
is so much. It's like every day you get, each of your subjects, you get like a few pages of work to do, and usually that work can like, it's a bit difficult because sometimes you have to spend your nights doing it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to like do it at school the next day, and you get in a lot of trouble if you not like don't do your homework.
Mhm.
Like in primary school, no one did their homework. I did my homework, but like actually like no one did their homework.
Yeah.
The teacher didn't really care because like in class it's like the learning, but the teacher didn't check the work. She just assigned work, and like you would either submit it or not. The teacher
Mhm.
didn't really mind.
Yeah.
But they're really strict, and they sometimes give you detentions if you like do that. And that
Mhm.
detention is staying in the class, doing extra work, having a chat with the teachers, just in your recess and lunch too, which is less opportunity for you to like have fun with your friends finally,
Yeah.
which is really sad. and like, and as well as that, in high school you're also a lot more prone to being bullied or like being peer pressured to do stuff, because
Mhm.
in high school the teachers try to like look out for you, but like they aren't as caring as in primary school. In primary school, if someone like said stop it or like you're annoying, the teachers would step in and say that. But like when you do that in high school, they won't like say as much because they're like, oh, like they're kind of used to it, honestly, and they're like, oh, like that's sad, say sorry, but they won't do much.
Mhm.
And it's just like, and there's bullying, there's like a lot more bigger crowds, there's a lot more people. High school generally has more students in primary school too, which is a
Yeah.
bit harder because like a lot more people can go up to you. And the teachers as well, like for our teacher, our head teacher, she's had to deal with about 20 cases in a week of going up to the office, and I remember I went once because my friend was being bullied, and she was just like, not this again, just say sorry and that's it. Like she didn't put that much effort because she was so done with all the cases.
Mhm.
So you just feel like the teachers don't care about you anymore. They don't care about your feelings. Like if something happens, you just have to deal with it yourself, or like
Mhm.
you just feel that like less loved. Like in primary school they'd be like, oh, I'm there for you if you need anyone to talk to. I'm like there for you to talk. And yeah, it's just upsetting to you sometimes.
Mm. So, like, going into high school, like, the experience that you had, did you, how should I say it? Like, was it how you expected it to be. So, because like in year six, it's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to, I'm gonna be going to the big school and all that stuff. So, like when you were in year seven, like were your expectations met, or it was
In year
completely
six,
different?
I was kind of excited to go to high school. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm going to like a big school. I'd be like doing new fun things. I'm going to meet a lot of friends. I'm just going to be that older. Because in year seven, that's when you start being a teenager. And I know a lot of
Yeah.
kids like being like, they don't know. Sometimes
They want to
teenagers,
grow
it's
up
just
so quickly.
like teenagers, it's like when you want to be a teenager when you're younger, but when you are a teenager, it's like, oh, you're a teenager. Like, it's nothing really exciting. Like, when I was 12, I was so excited to be a teenager. And now there's just, like, no accomplishment. Like, you're 13, okay?
Yeah.
Like, it's not much. And I was like, oh, high school is going to be, like, fun. I'm going to do lots of music, lots of sport, everything. Because in primary school, they do a balance of all, but, like, the time I was like short, like they would only go. There's like 3 sessions in primary school. It's like one before recess, like before lunch, and then after lunch. But here we have like 6 periods, so 53 minutes of lessons of every different subject. And in the first lesson, usually we go through like English, and then in lunch before lunch is like maths. And then like sport, and the next one we do sport like in class. But then in high school we do music, maths, English. We do so many subjects you honestly can't cope up with it anymore.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I was a lot surprised of how high school was going to be. I didn't think high school was going to be that challenging, but it definitely is. And you just have to find how you can control yourself and how you can figure out, what's going on in high school.
Yeah. And so then going, I guess, how you brought up like homework and stuff like a minute ago. But did you have you been able to develop like a studying habit or like routine and all that stuff?
In like the first day, I already got homework, which was a bit upsetting. I didn't think I was gonna get homework
like,
the
whoa,
first day.
okay.
It's just like I didn't do much. I don't have much experience doing homework in primary school. Primary school was just doing your workbook in class and doing it, like the teacher will check it. And if you didn't really do your homework, do your work in class, the teacher would say like, oh, if you don't do your work, be back after recess. But the teacher wouldn't actually do that. Like, it was just, like, something to threaten kids to do their homework, honestly. And now they honestly, like, people did it. Some people didn't care. Like, there was those people who, like, didn't want to do work, were just that type of, it's just whatever.
Yeah.
And then in high school, when you, like, start work, so if you have 6 subjects, you have 6 subjects of homework, except PE, but you have that, like, once every 2 weeks or something, or twice every week. And when you would like do that, it just like you just feel that sense of stress and pressure like once you do that. And it's always a lot of homework, not just like, oh, just finish off the little bit in class, because sometimes there's like unfinished class homework for homework, but sometimes there's also an exercise you have to do for homework, so that's double homework. And sometimes the teacher's like, oh, I'm gonna be away, you have to do this lesson for homework. Like the whole lesson, like the teacher won't explain anything, you just have to do that lesson. And balancing that's honestly difficult, because I knew my first week of high school, like if my first, let's say like until term 1 in high school, I had a really messed up studying schedule, because whenever I was on my laptop, I was like, oh, like there's a lot of distractions. I was like, oh, let me just watch some Dance Moms. Let me just watch something else. Like, maybe I can do it in like another 5 minutes. Just give me time. And when I was up to like 5 o'clock, so I started my homework from like 3:30 after I like put myself together after school, which ends at 3. I was like watching for like an hour 30, and my parents like obviously thought I was doing homework, right? Because I was like in my room and I was like, I'm doing homework, I have a lot of homework. And then I realized it was 5 o'clock already, and I was like, I haven't done anything. Damn. And then I was like, I could probably pull an all-nighter or do something like that. Jeez. And I was like, okay, so like maybe let me like watch more stuff, mess around or something. And then it got to the point where it was 7, and my mum was like, have you done your homework? And I didn't know what to say, because I was a lot of pressure, and I was like, yes, I've done my homework. And she was like, okay, good. And I was like, oh, actually my teacher gave me another pop-up quiz that I had to do, and in that and she was like, oh, but it's 7 o'clock, just takes 10 minutes. And obviously in that 10 minutes I couldn't finish all that homework. That homework, my mum expected me to finish it in 4 hours. Like, I've showed her my work, and then I did very less. It was really bad work too, like it was messed up. And then at night, I like started doing my homework, and I honestly like I was up till like the first term, I was up to 3 doing my homework.
Damn.
And I had to wake up at 6:30 for school. So I had 3 hours of 30 minutes of sleep, and I looked horrendous that day. Like I just looked horrendous. I felt horrendous. I just wasn't in that mood. And then like and I did that schedule for about a week, obviously like not doing work. And it's just like, and then you just realize how much of an impact it like took on me. And honestly, after that week, I couldn't like take it anymore. Obviously, I didn't sleep, I didn't do anything. I was like, oh wow, that's crazy how my schedule's like. So then from term 2, I've started making my schedule. I was like, okay, 3:30, get everything done. And then for the first 1 hour, I'll do my homework productively. And then the next hour, if I have like 5-10 minutes, I'll like eat something, I'll chill.
Yeah.
I'll just check what the other work I have. And then the next hour, I would listen to music and do my work, because some people aren't really productive when they listen to music with it. But like for me, like music, I just block out everything and I do my work. So I just like, so that's why like music is helpful for me, and I like do it. And then at 7, if I've like done that schedule and took like a 5-minute break, I've finished most of my work. And if there's leftover work, I like use that 10 minutes to like work. And then I have lots more time, and I sleep better. My schedule's better. I can spend more time with my family too, because those weeks before, I was like doing my homework all day. I was locked in my room, and then at 3 a.m. and then at 6 a.m. and then I don't have much time with my family, because if I wake up at 6 a.m. and like go to school at like 7:30, and then I come back at 3, and I probably spend like 20 minutes with my family eating food. So like I didn't really have that much family time, and it's just a bit sadder, you know.
Yeah.
Which is why I started doing that, and it got better.
Yeah, that's really good, because I feel like when you're like, you know, really young, going to year 7 and stuff, it takes a lot of young people to like come to that realization that, like, you know, some are in that like that phase, like, oh no, I hate my family, you know, or I don't need sleep, I can do whatever I want. So that's actually really good that you like came to that realization very quickly. No, but that's good. And then, so this is going to be the interesting part, because we were discussing it like offline, like not recording, but we'll briefly go into like school drama and stuff. So I guess kind of what's the difference like from primary school drama and high school drama, and then if you have any like little stories that you can tell us.
Yes. Okay. So primary school drama is like, Miss, she pushed me. She hurt my feelings. She called me this. Oh my God, Miss, this guy is like being rude. He didn't finish his homework. He like, that's the type of drama. And then year 7 drama is more like, it's like the whole dating scenario. It's just like, it's like the dating scenario. There's like kids like vaping, doing like
peer pressure and all
being
that
peer
stuff.
pressured and stuff. It's a lot more serious to talk about it. In primary school, everyone was like I'm pretty sure we've all had vaping lessons in primary school, like and cigarette like lessons on how it's bad for you, and everyone's probably like, oh, I'm like never gonna vape. Like I'm sure everyone had that mindset like vaping's bad, I'm not gonna vape. Vaping's not the good thing to do. And then in high school, like a lot of my friends who were in primary school where we were like, we will not vape, they've started vaping. Like because there's a popular group obviously that first like start all the vaping and stuff, and then they peer pressure their friends to vape, like what happened to my friend, because the popular group, they all vaped and my friend didn't vape, and they were like, just try one, and she was like obviously like no, like I don't vape, I don't think I should do it. And then they were like no, but like we'll like you a lot more, and they were like, we'll be your best friend and stuff. They said that like, oh, like you're gonna be like a cool person if you vape. And I was like, and then she was like, no, like obviously coolness is not what something like, that's not really cool at all, like you think vaping is cool but it's not. And they kept on convincing her, and then that whole group was there, and they were like, vape. They did it in the bathrooms too, so like obviously you can't like have a vape in the middle of like the block. So they went to the bathrooms and they did, and then she like took one, and then they gave her a vape to like keep, and then she like kept on doing it. And we aren't really close
Yeah.
anymore, obviously, because of that. Because
Yeah.
I know she was in a really hard position, but like she shouldn't have given in to that. Even though it's very difficult when there's so much pressure like
Yeah.
that. But she shouldn't really. That's why we aren't really close as much, because now she obviously like, because once you usually get peer pressure too, sometimes you would peer pressure others.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
That's
And
so
then that's
true.
how it's like a whole chain. So like now she peer pressures others and we aren't really friends anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
she says hi to me, but like there's
Yeah.
nothing
Mm.
going on with that.
Damn, that's intense.
Very much.
Because, yeah, I hear about it all the time, and obviously I'm out of school, but wow, that's...
Vaping's become such a popular thing now. Like, people don't obviously have cigarettes.
Yeah.
And honestly, the main question for me is, where do they get the vapes from?
Oh,
like,
that's
generally.
true.
Like, they're underage and
Maybe from...
a friend's friend. Like,
yeah,
I'm
or
pretty
like
sure some
family
older
member or
person,
something.
maybe some older person got
Yeah.
it. Or, like, faked his ID or something.
Yeah,
Did something
stuff
like that.
like
And then their friends got it. And their friends' friends got it. You know? It's just, like, confusing.
Yeah.
That's like the major thing, like the major problem with like drama, as in like, oh, this person vaped or this person did that. And there's also like guy drama too.
Yeah.
So there's like a
jeez.
lot of, so like a lot of people in high school, they start relationships. In primary school, it's like way too young. If you
Yeah,
like do
it's
something
pretty
in primary
rare.
school, it's very rare, or like you don't do it. And like in high school, that's where all the relationships start, all that drama with that, like, oh, this guy asked me out, but he cheated on me and blah, blah, blah. Like, I guess, like, some of them, it's like, it just, like, it seems a little young, too, but all these dramas are, like, you're 13 and, like, someone cheated on someone, when you could be doing that when you were, like, 30 or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of, like, it's, like, a difference. And then there's, like, a lot of guy best friends, girls best friends. Some are, like... Some of them have that beef or something. It's just like, honestly, the drama can go on and on and on. Like, with my experience, I think with my friend. So my friend, she had a boyfriend, and they both had an on and off relationship in year 7. They had it they've, I think, got back together about 15 times. Like, I was like the Cupid in that relationship. Like, I'd obviously be like, come on, like, solve the issue, stop ignoring each other.
Yeah.
So, like, they started from, like, term 1, week 3 or something, and then they were like on, and then like in like a month they broke up, and then like on again, and then middle, and then like at the end, like they've like broken up, and they've broken up officially. But like it was very crazy because the guy would get really jealous if she was with any other guy, because they aren't in the same class. That's one thing for sure. And when she's like talking to some other guy, like maybe for a group project or anything, he would get really jealous. Because, like, he had a friend in that class, and they'd be like, oh, she was talking to a guy, but, like, it's fine. It was for a project.
Huh?
And he'd get jealous, and, like, and he would, like, be upset about it. And I was like, there's, like, nothing to be upset about.
That's
It's,
so
like,
funny.
it's just a project. And if she's talking to any guy, he'll be like, why are you talking to them? Like, even though, like, if she was, like, asking for an answer, if she was, like, oh, what happened in class, anything, he'd be like, yeah, like, he'd get super jealous. He'd get, like, rage. And then that's how
so
he would get.
crazy.
And when he'd get upset, he would just stop talking. He'd be like really emo and like depressed for like a few, and then his friends would be around him comforting him, being like, no, it's okay, you're strong, you're good, you're so handsome.
Wow.
And it's just like really weird.
It's so... Oh, my God.
It's just weird. And it's like they're in year 7 and they've just started their relationships. I'm pretty sure both of them were each other's first, and they've had 15 on and off relationships.
Oh, my gosh.
Because like they fix something, they had fights, like...
It's so funny, like, hearing young people, like, the first, like, dating experiences and stuff. And then, because, like, when you're older, obviously, it's, like, that stuff is just so, like, weird to imagine. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, imagine if he was still the same, like, when he's, I don't know, like, 18 or whatever. And, like, what, his partner couldn't talk to her, like, male colleague or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Like, that's
She
so...
walked with, like, if he stayed the same, he'd probably not, like, get anyone.
Yeah,
Like, he
his
wouldn't-
relationships wouldn't work. Like, how does that...
And it's also everyone's first, and, like, I think, honestly, like, I know what he was, like, it's stupid of what he was doing, but he was
Yeah.
just, he also didn't know, he was very clueless. It was his first relationship. He just
Yeah.
was, like, he just got jealous, he didn't know what was going on. He just,
Yeah.
like, he's just that weird person, you know?
Oh, my gosh.
It's just, like,
Damn.
really crazy. And I remember this one girl, this is like one drama story I've
Yeah.
got. So this one, I've got two friends. They're a lot closer though, like both of them are really close. And she liked this guy in year 7. I won't like say his name unless anyone like knows his name or something. And she liked him for a while. Like it was quite a while. And then her friend obviously like encouraged her to be like, oh, like, you know, like say something, or she'd like obviously try to push her into him. Like it was that like thing because they were like good friends. And then that guy, like he like knew she existed. He'd like say like a few things to her once and then, but he like made it quite obvious that he doesn't really care about her that much. And like for instance, she would be like, oh, you dropped your shoe, like not shoe, I don't know why I said shoe, like you dropped your pen. And then he'd be like, oh, okay, thanks. And he'd just like walk away, like that's it. And then she'd get like really upset over that thing. Or like sometimes I remember, because they're in the same class even though they just like ignore each other completely. She's like, oh, what is the homework? I forgot it. Like she would text him that because like her friend would be like, say that, because like, and he'd be like, oh, I don't know, you know, like I don't know why you're asking me. Like he'd be like that. He wasn't like rude or anything, but like he just like he genuinely just didn't really care about her.
Did he know that she liked him?
No, she was just like,
oh, and she was trying to drop hints.
She was trying to like drop hints, and she's trying to like show that like, oh, like I care about you, like I'm like looking out for you, like, and he's just like oblivious. That's what most boys are like. They're just very oblivious when someone likes them. And like honestly, like girls can tell. Like if I could tell, like without even like knowing her, that she liked him. And then like he was just like, oh yeah. And then that guy actually liked that girl's best friend.
Oh. Hey guys, Satini here. Not to leave you guys on a cliffhanger, but if you enjoyed part 1, be sure to stay tuned for part 2.